Hello, everybody, and welcome to this week's episode of the Press Playbook, where we bring on a different BAM team member each week to highlight some of the rad placements they're getting for their clients. This week, we have on Brittany, who recently got her client Blitzy a placement in Business Insider. Let's see how she did it. Hey, Brittany, so happy to have you on.
Hey, Kendall. Good to see you.
Yes, so stoked that you're back. For the new listeners here, why don't you give us a breakdown of your role at BAM and what you do there?
Yes, so I am a senior account director here at BAM, and I help lead our B2B practice, running the gamut of early stage startups all the way through post IPO.
And Blitzy is a very fun company to be working with. So
Yes,
tell us tell us a little bit about them, what they do, and everything in between.
Yeah, so we've been working with Blitzy on and off, depending on what their news cycle is looking like. But Blitzy is building software for enterprises. And the biggest thing about them, which is really fantastic, is they're like 3 to 5 years ahead of most AI companies out there. So their agents are able to write over 300 million lines of code and basically complete an entire enterprise project up to 80% with just their agents alone. So people are loving it.
That's insane because I feel like I'm living in a world that's ahead. So I can't even I can't even imagine what that would be like. But that's incredible for them. Such a fun client to work with. So tell us a little bit about the story that you put together. You recently got a placement in Business Insider. Tell us a little bit about the internal conversations that were happening, why you guys went after Business Insider, and then we can pull up the pitch and go into that. But let's start there.
Yeah, sure. So Blitzy came to us and they were really looking to build a larger profile for their co-founder and CTO, Sid. He is obviously a major founder of this business. He's basically the one that has built it from the ground up from a technological standpoint. And he has a really interesting background. He's like one of the earliest Nvidia inventors. He has over 25 patents with them. He won the Nvidia Inventors Jacket back in 2021. And so because he had all of these really great nuggets around his background and how he was able to pioneer AI before it really even became the mainstream, we were tasked with going out and getting some profile pieces on him just to be able to up-level his visibility and presence within the industry.
He's a decorated founder. Let's say
Seriously.
that. So let me pull up the pitch here and let's have you run us through just the breakdown of this pitch, what you guys think you did really well, where you guys hit the mark, and all that stuff.
Yes. So we specifically designed this pitch for Carissa Chong at Business Insider, who wrote the piece. She is a first person reporter. And so by taking a look at how she typically writes her headlines, that will give you a great sense of why our subject line is written in the first person, really making sure that it was personalized to her taste and her writing style. Second to that, all of her articles really focus on key metrics or details. So in this case, Sid ended up leaving Nvidia and forfeiting, I want to say it was almost 19 million in unvested stocks to be able to go and start Blitzy, where he obviously, would have been very financially successful had he stayed with Nvidia the rest of his life. And so that's really the story we were looking to pitch Carissa and try to keep it in a succinct way so that we could get it collectively on paper, but really leave those finite details for an interview.
And with Carissa, was this a journalist you've worked with before, or was this a new relationship?
Yes, I have worked with Carissa a couple times in the past. She's been lovely to work with. And so knowing her style and how she works really helped us land this quickly.
It made it very easy on her. When
Yes.
you work with her, you know her style. She knows you're going to bring something good. That's incredible. So let's dive into Blitzy's reaction to this story. This is obviously a huge piece. Business Insider, I feel like, is always a target pub. What
Yes.
was their reaction?
Yeah, they loved it. I mean, it's always great when you send a pitch and you get a response within a couple hours of interest. So that is what happened in this case. They were really thrilled. The one thing I will say with first person reporters at Business Insider is there is a long list of fact checking that has to happen. And so if you're looking to pursue something like this, definitely be ready to have the documents and the paperwork to back up all of the accreditations that you're going to bring to the conversation.
That's so fun. And I would have loved this placement. I would have loved to see my face, my story in a publication like that. That's huge. Well, Brittany, why don't you close out this pod by giving one piece of advice for founders who are looking to land press?
Yes, for this piece in particular, I would say if you're going for a profile piece of this nature, spend the time to update those physical assets, new headshots, new graphics. If you take a look at the piece, we did a wonderful job with positioning Sid in different natural positions. And I really think that those images that go along with the great story that Carissa wrote really brought it all to life.
It's actually a great piece of advice that we have not yet heard. So I love that. That's so helpful. And Brittany, thank you so much for joining us. We're so happy we got to feature this and stoked for the Blitzy team.
Awesome. Thanks, Kendall.